Hello and welcome to Divine Grace with you. This is Asutosh. This is the most happening video which we all been over a period of time of 12 years, I would say roughly, been all holding our nerves high for this transit. This is the biggest transit, I would say, in the 12-year time into the exalted sign, that is Jupiter into the Cancer. Okay, now to understand Jupiter, which is currently in the most atichari movement, okay, is primarily from Gemini, while it all began it off around to the May, I understand 14th of May 2025. It would be a 7-year time until the 2032 roughly. Now to be here honest, this particular 13 months and 13 months when it was with Taurus, okay, and it was with Gemini, this had never been the most of the comfortable signs for Jupiter. Okay, so now the real movement of Jupiter, I would say the most benevolence, the benefic movement which it all begins off with for Jupiter begins from now itself, from the 2nd of June in the Cancer. It would be the period of time while we have been taking into consideration the 2nd of June until the July 2027. Okay, this is while we are going to take the count. To understand this, the very first of thing, this Atichari movement is something, if I try to explain in a very layman words, is likely a highway where we have got a specific speed limit, let me say roughly 50, okay, which is, if someone like a huge planet which has been known for the wisdom, if it gives the immense amount of the blessings and all, if it moves in 80 kilometer per hour while it should have been with 50, so this is going to bring some of the toughness while it transcend over this period of time. That is what we have been able to face over the very of the occasion from the May 2025. Okay, now to understand this, if I would say the transit which we are going to begin it up on the discussion, the 5 signs, okay, which are going to have the triumph of this event, the golden era begins for them. The first of the things we need to understand while we consider this transit, if you had seen my of the previous of the videos, what should be taken into consideration while we say something or the transit is going to be benefic. The very first thing, that is, if in the if you have been having Jupiter been placed, okay, in the natal chart where it is in the first, second, fifth, 9th, 11th and 7th, okay, 7th, there is a reason, okay, although it has been also comes as a better placed, okay, however it is primarily the very first 5, I would say 6th, 7th comes in the last of the section. Now the very intense of the moment, without wasting much of time, we are going to begin. The second thing which I would like to say is Jupiter during this part of time which we have been taking into consideration should be in the dasa or antardasa, should be one of the ones where you are going to see the best of the results. Okay, now the transit based on which we are going to discuss is something, I would say ascendant, I would be considering 100%, and in the moon signs it would be giving the results as 80%. Okay, now let's start it up. The very first sign goes as Scorpio. I understand the people in the Scorpio natives who are been over a period of roughly, I would say 26 months, from the Taurus, the time it has got begun, everything has come to much of the stuck of, they had not been the time what it had been for them, the fulfillment of the desires, while for particularly Scorpio, the 5th and the 9th house lord, it been transit in the in the 9th house. Okay, that is where it gives the much of the results. Now to understand this, we have primarily the, yeah, I would say, like, the fifth and the second house lord, it transits in the ninth, where it gives much of the fulfillment, the blessings, okay, to achieve, like, with endeavors in the foreign journey. The investments are going to come into sweet success. The changes in the jobs, because there, while the luck factor comes into place, I would say this is the most of the transit is going to happen. The second is primarily Gemini. Okay, the second sign, it would be Gemini. For Gemini, it is the second house, while that where the transit is going to happen. Guru is known mostly for the significator for the second house. Okay, although for Gemini it is not one of the best of the signs very strongly. However, because of the character of the second movement, this gives the immense of the. So now to understand here, the second house, while it where it goes, like there are the financial gains, the monetary hikes. If you have been holding back with some of the kinds of like awareness of some growth, expansion, is all been going to happen in the monetary front. Okay, this is the best, I would say, yeah, in the terms as the second house significator. Now the third, I would say, it is primarily the sign which is going to have the best of the results, is something to be done up with, is Cancer. Okay, why it is Cancer? Because for it, this is happening in the Lagna. Okay, for the Lagna, as I stated, like something which is being primarily happens in the Lagna, it grants Digabala. Now here Guru gives, like for everything whichsoever is something being in the in the cold boxes are been all going to come out. You have got the cat out of the sack, I would say. Like everything which on the endeavors is in the terms of bringing to your kind of life. It's like adding a, like I would say, like a biggest of the feathers into your cap, is the time while we are going to see it up primarily for the Cancer. This is literally the time while all the punya, purva punya things comes into place when our Guru comes into your Lagna. Okay, the third of the, after this Cancer, it is the fourth of the sign, I would say, that is our Capricorn. Okay, in Capricorn it happens in the seventh. Okay, while it happens in 7, so like all the channels get activated, where you have got like the married relationship becomes fruition, the which had been not been going so well over a period of time, the business channels gets activated, you earn ample of profit. Okay, reap profit of your business relationship, all the endeavors goes into sweet success. Okay, if it is been into the Capricorn, is the most happening sign. The fifth sign, which I would say, that is the Pisces. Okay, in Pisces it is prominently happening after, like is it's the Lagna lord, I would say. Okay, now it has been coming into the ninth house. Okay, in the ninth house it brings the immense amount of factor, that is our luck factor. Okay, which is genuinely is one of the things which somebody had been awaiting from a long period, the Sadesati, which has been happening, transiting into the fifth house here. Primarily it gives aspects on Saturn, which is primarily at the Lagna, okay, of it. The ninth aspect of Guru goes into Saturn here, there where it gains the, like the all the setbacks. Okay, because of the Sadesati. If it is the moon sign where it is been disposited, it would be right now, or like I would say, if you are considering from the Lagna, it would be gaining the strength of the blessings here. So it is going to have all the pending things into fruition. All the pending tasks are going to be fruition. You are going to the next level. Okay, where you are going to have all of your fulfillment of the desires, all the things gets activated. So these are the very 5 signs, I would say. The first is Scorpio, The second is our Gemini. The third is Cancer. Okay, the fourth is Capricorn. The fifth is Pisces. Are the ones which are going to gain the much of the things in this fruition of event. I hope you like my video. If yes, please like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to watch some of my previous of the videos which is on the Saturn transit in the Aries in 2027, and also the Mars in conjunction with Ketu in the November. Okay, that is some of the most happening of the two transit, I would say, should be watched by my viewers. Cheers, take care, bye.